After signing the final deed, we moved to Italy straight into our temporary accommodation. And today, for the first time, we are going to show you everything we actually bought. All 4 buildings exactly as they are. But there is one thing about this property we have kept quiet until now. One of these buildings surprised us much more than we expected. And by the end of this video, you can tell us if you think we can actually move in within 30 days. Once we were ready to go, everything became very real, very fast. Some friends joined us for that very first road trip, so we loaded up the car, drove south, and ended up in San Dalmazio, which became our base. The first few weeks were a blur. Meetings every other day, the geometra, the structural engineer, the agronomist, people from the commune, everyone walking the land with us, pointing at things and writing notes. We have a lot to tell you about those weeks, but none of it makes sense until you actually see what all of these people were walking around on. Let's take a look at it from above. 8 hectares, 4 buildings, connected by land, a road, and a very ambitious plan. We have big plans for the wedding venue, but today is just about what we actually have. And we are starting with the building that caused the most questions for our geometra. Building 4 is the most ruined one, and the first one you see from the road. We want to preserve all the buildings, but with this one we got conflicting opinions from different specialists. It has 3 floors, a semi-basement, a ground level, and a top floor. Here used to be a terrace with a huge bread oven. When it collapsed, it revealed the bathroom and living room. Even from the outside, you can still see personal belongings left behind. And look at that beautiful view from here. Each of the 3 levels on the other side has its own entrance. The lowest level used to be a stable or shelter for animals. The last owner kept around 2,000 sheep here. We were actually able to access this lower level safely and realized that structurally it is in much better shape than the top level. This gave us some hope that maybe it doesn't have to be demolished after all. So tell us honestly, would you try to save it or would you tear it down and rebuild it? And now we are arriving at building 3, the main villa, the heart of the estate. This is the biggest structure on the property and we are desperate to get inside, but right now we cannot. The roof on this building is collapsed some years ago, and until it is assessed properly, we stay out. Even from the outside though, the scale of this building is hard to ignore. From here, we have 2 entrances to the villa. Through one, we are actually able to enter a room that was used to feed the sheep. Through the entrance next to it, we can sneak a peek at the old kitchen and see the collapsed ceiling. Upstairs we can even see an old bathroom. From here, we also have a driveway access to the main road. The side of the villa facing the valley is decorated with a row of beautiful signature pines. You can see all the 4 floors from here and the entrance to the basement level with all the damage. Fallen beams, piles of debris, and a clear view all the way up to the sky. You see these metal supports? These are the remains of a huge terrace which was added illegally. It must have been nice to have a terrace with that beautiful view, but it had to be torn down. And finally, the main entrance of the villa. It is accessible from the main courtyard. The front has a small balcony, which we can't wait to restore. This building already feels like the center of everything. Right across the street from the villa, you can see the cave. And this is the spot we used as an entrance before we finally cut the lock. On the left, you can see a doorway to a small basement under building 1. It is not accessible from the inside, only from out here. We have 2 driveways here. One leads down to the lower part of the property and one to building 2. The first one that we were able to enter properly. Which brings us to this beautiful giant evergreen oak at the back of it. We suspect this tree has been here for a very long time, and we are curious to find out exactly how old it is. What do you think? Behind it you can see one of the entrances to building 2, and a part of a terrace that sits right at the end. Taking the stairs up to the main courtyard, we arrive in front of the upper entrance of building 2. This floor has one long room ending with access to the terrace. Unfortunately, after a large branch from the oak tree fell on the roof, we are not allowed to enter there yet. This means we have never seen the view from that terrace. Following these steps, we get to the lower parts. Down below, there are 3 separate entrances, each leading into a room with a bit of uniqueness. The first room on the right has a beautiful traditional arch ceiling in a cross pattern. Because of the fallen branch above, this part is currently soaked and dangerous. But it is our goal to restore it rather than remake it. Do you think it's possible? The middle room has a traditional Tuscan ceiling with chestnut wood beams and terracotta bricks in between. Although it is still standing, we were not brave enough to walk under the left side of it. This section has 2 openings, one to the area behind the building with the big oak, and the other one leading to the last room. This one has the highest ceiling with a vaulted structure. The terrace we mentioned earlier is positioned right above. On the outside you can also see these concrete-style bricks. Those are something we would love to remove soon to expose the original stone wall behind. All these rooms face a large flat open area. And from here we reach the lower terraces, which we only discovered later. The views from there are incredible. But before we show you that, there is still one more building you need to see. In the midst of the big ruins, we arrive at the smaller, better kept building 1. But how well kept is it exactly? So to recap, we have 3 buildings that face the main courtyard. The main villa, the top floor of building 2, and the smaller building 1. This building has 2 floors and 3 separate entrances. First is this beautiful wide arched entrance. The rooms have a traditional Tuscan ceiling and the beams are in a surprisingly good condition. There is a big fireplace in the left corner and the walls are not that bad either. Moving forward, we pass an old bathroom, a storage room, and an unfinished kitchen. And through here, we exit back onto the main road. This side of the building has stairs leading to the top floor. The two floors are completely separate. We enter through the former kitchen, which gives access to 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. In the first room to the right, we can get the first glimpse at what the views are gonna be like from the inside. We can see all the way to Volterra. In the second room, we can see the chimney coming up from the fireplace below. Together with the smaller third room, both of these rooms overlook the main courtyard with a clear view of the villa. The last is the bathroom, which is in a rough shape. Somebody took out the bathtub and partially destroyed the toilet, so there is clearly more work needed here. Overall, some of the windows are broken or missing glass, the walls need a lot of help, and the bathroom and kitchen are non-existent. But even with that, this is the part of the property that feels closest to becoming livable. And this is exactly why we see this level as a future temporary accommodation, while the lower floors becomes more of a work and support space. And saving the best for the last, our favorite part, the hidden viewpoint below the buildings. Just look at this beauty. It always takes our breath away. We now have 30 days to figure out how to transform building 1 into a home so we can get this view every day. No water, no electricity, no amenities, no furnishing. We were already called crazy, courageous, and brave in the comments. Will luck be on our side, or will we be stuck with no place to call home? And in the next episode, we are going to show you the crazy solution we came up with for the problem from the previous episode, and how the whole project may be about to turn upside down.